The episode of The Kelly Clarkson Show, that was supposed to be a lighthearted and fun appearance by pop sensation Sabrina Carpenter, turned into something entirely unexpected. What started as a cheerful chat between two music stars quickly spiraled into tension, awkward exchanges, and ultimately, Sabrina's shocking decision to walk off the set. While fans have been buzzing about what really went down, the full picture paints a moment that reveals just how fragile live television can be when emotions, pride, and misunderstandings collide under the bright lights of a studio stage. The day had begun like any other for Kelly's production team. The studio audience was full, the energy was high, and Sabrina Carpenter's name alone had brought a wave of young fans eager to catch a glimpse of their favorite pop artist in person. Sabrina, fresh off the success of her latest single, had been doing the rounds promoting her music and upcoming tour. Known for her humor and charm, she was expected to vibe effortlessly with Kelly, who herself is not just a host but a Grammy-winning singer with a warm, inviting personality. From the outside, it looked like a perfect pairing, two artists with powerful voices, strong fan bases, and a shared respect for music. But behind the scenes, there were already small hints that the interview might not go smoothly. Sources later revealed that the production meeting earlier that day had been slightly tense. Sabrina's team had allegedly requested that certain personal topics not be brought up, particularly those related to her rumored relationships and comparisons to other female pop artists. These were subjects that had followed her for months in the tabloids, and she reportedly wanted to keep the focus strictly on her music and tour. Kelly's team, on the other hand, wanted to make the interview more spontaneous, natural, and emotionally engaging. That difference in approach would quietly set the stage for what came next. As cameras rolled and Kelly welcomed Sabrina to the show, everything seemed normal. The crowd cheered, Kelly complimented Sabrina's performance outfit, and the two exchanged light banter about touring life, songwriting, and the challenges of growing up in the public eye. Kelly, being a singer herself, brought up how hard it can be to balance authenticity with public expectations. For a few minutes, their conversation was heartfelt, even inspiring. But the mood began to change when Kelly mentioned how Sabrina had been compared to certain other pop artists who were dominating the charts at the same time. She framed it as a compliment, saying Sabrina had carved out her own lane, despite being in a crowded field of young female singers, but Sabrina's expression shifted noticeably. Sabrina laughed politely, but there was a flicker of discomfort. "I think comparisons are inevitable," she replied carefully, "but I just do my own thing." Kelly pressed a little further, asking whether those comparisons ever got under her skin. It might have been an innocent question from one artist to another, but for Sabrina, who had been trying to distance herself from that narrative for months, it struck a nerve. She hesitated before saying, "I just think people love to put women against each other. It's frustrating, honestly." The audience clapped in support, but Kelly's response, though meant to be understanding, didn't land as she intended. "Oh, totally," Kelly said with a laugh, "but it can also motivate you, right? Like, a little healthy competition never hurts." That line, casual as it sounded, was the spark that shifted the energy completely. Sabrina's smile tightened. "I don't see other artists as competition," she said sharply. "I'm not here to compete with anyone." Kelly tried to smooth things over, but her natural tendency to joke through tension didn't help. "Oh, come on, we all get a little competitive," she said, gesturing playfully toward the audience. "You can't be in this business and not be." The crowd laughed, but Sabrina didn't. The silence that followed was uncomfortable, the kind that makes everyone in the room acutely aware that something has gone wrong. Kelly, sensing the unease, tried to pivot back to music, asking about Sabrina's songwriting process. But Sabrina, still visibly tense, gave shorter answers, her tone curt but polite. It might have ended there, an awkward moment smoothed over by time, but Kelly decided to bring up another topic that Sabrina's team had reportedly asked to avoid, a viral clip from an awards show in which fans had speculated about Sabrina's reaction to another artist's win. "You know," Kelly said with a grin, "people online love to read into facial expressions. There was that clip from the she didn't get to finish." Sabrina interrupted with a quick, strained laugh. "Yeah, I've seen that. People will make drama out of nothing. It's actually exhausting." Her voice wavered slightly, and though she tried to keep her composure, the frustration in her tone was unmistakable. Kelly nodded sympathetically, but before she could change the subject, Sabrina added, "Honestly, I just came here to talk about my album. I thought that's what we were doing." The audience fell into an uneasy silence again. Kelly, caught off guard, tried to salvage the moment. "Of course," she said gently, "I didn't mean to make you uncomfortable." But the tension had already taken root. Sabrina leaned back in her chair, exhaled, and forced another smile, but her body language said it all. She was done. Moments later, as Kelly attempted to transition into a lighter segment, a game where she and Sabrina were supposed to guess lyrics from each other's songs, Sabrina hesitated. Kelly introduced the game enthusiastically, saying, "Okay, let's have some fun. You ready?" But Sabrina's eyes darted toward her publicist off stage. Then, with a quick shake of her head, she said softly into her microphone, "Actually, I think I'm gonna step out." The studio froze. Kelly blinked in confusion. "Wait, what? You okay?" she asked. Sabrina stood up, adjusted her microphone pack, and said, "I just need a minute." She gave Kelly a polite nod but didn't elaborate. The audience gasped as she walked off stage, leaving Kelly standing there, visibly stunned but trying to maintain professionalism. "All right," Kelly said awkwardly, clapping her hands together with a forced smile. "We'll, take a quick break." The show cut to commercial as murmurs filled the studio. Backstage, according to reports from production staff, Sabrina was emotional but composed. She told her team she felt ambushed and disrespected, insisting that the questions had gone against what was agreed upon beforehand. Kelly, once she wrapped the segment, reportedly went to check on her. Witnesses say the two had a private conversation in the dressing area, where Kelly apologized for crossing any lines. Sources close to Kelly said she genuinely hadn't intended to upset Sabrina and felt terrible that things had escalated. Still, by that point, Sabrina's mind was made up. She didn't want to go back on stage. When the show resumed, Kelly addressed the situation delicately, telling the audience, "We had a little miscommunication earlier, but everything's fine." She smiled through it, her professionalism unwavering, but fans who watched the show noticed the edit. The segment was trimmed for the broadcast version, removing the moments of visible discomfort. However, word of the incident spread fast through social media. Clips, behind-the-scenes whispers, and audience accounts began surfacing within hours. Fans were divided. Some defended Sabrina, saying she had every right to set boundaries and that Kelly's line of questioning had been insensitive. Others argued that Kelly had simply been doing her job and that Sabrina had overreacted. Comment sections filled with debates, memes, and speculation, while hashtags like #Sabrina on Kelly Show and #WalkOff began trending on X and TikTok. Sabrina's team later released a brief statement saying she values open and respectful conversations, but didn't appreciate being put in uncomfortable positions for entertainment. Kelly's camp, meanwhile, released their own comment emphasizing that the Kelly Clarkson Show is about joy, honesty, and connection, and that sometimes live conversations can take unexpected turns. Both sides appeared eager to move on, but fans could sense that there was more to the story than either wanted to admit publicly. In the days that followed, the media buzzed with speculation about whether Sabrina would return to the show to clear the air. Some outlets reported that Kelly had personally reached out to invite her back, though Sabrina hadn't yet accepted. Industry insiders suggested that the tension reflected a growing challenge in celebrity interviews, how to balance authenticity and sensitivity in an age where every word can go viral within minutes. For Sabrina, the walk-off became an unexpected turning point. Though initially criticized by some, it also earned her respect from fans who admired her for standing her ground. She later hinted during another interview that she was learning to protect her peace, a statement many interpreted as a subtle reference to the Kelly Clarkson incident. For Kelly, the experience was a reminder of how unpredictable live interviews can be, even with the best intentions. Known for her warm-hearted hosting style, she reportedly told her staff afterward that she never wanted a guest to feel uncomfortable again. The two women, both powerful figures in music, may have clashed in that moment, but it also highlighted a deeper truth about the entertainment industry, that even in settings meant to promote joy and connection, human emotions can take over and create moments that no one could script. By the time the next episode aired, the show had moved on, but fans hadn't. Clips continued to circulate, and debates lingered online for weeks. Whether it was an overreaction, a misunderstanding, or simply a clash of personalities, the incident proved one thing. Even in the world of carefully managed celebrity appearances, authenticity can erupt when least expected, and sometimes, it walks right off the stage.